It's been 9 years since Danny Phantom has aired on Nickelodeon. 9! Don't I feel old? The series has a place in fans' hearts because the characters and story really are relatable. Danny Phantom was just an awkward 14-year-old that had to go through the hardships of high school. And also being a superhero. So yeah, partially relatable. But from what we have learned about Danny throughout the series is that he became part ghost because of an accident that took place in his parents' machine. His whole backstory is told through the memorable, iconic theme song. From what we know about ghosts in our reality, they are dead beings that are still roaming the earth. Since Danny Fenton is half ghost, does that make him half dead? Before we jump into the main theory, let's discuss a big concept. What are ghosts described as in Danny Phantom? According to Maddie Fenton, ghosts are an odd manifestation of ectoplasmic energy and post-human consciousness. Ectoplasm is a substance that comes from spirits. It's basically the icky, gooey material in a cell. Post-human means that these ghosts were human at some point, and consciousness means that they remember their human life. Most of the ghosts that Danny fights are otherworldly beings that were not humans. They are just monsters that came from the ghost zone. But there are some ghosts, going with Maddie's definition, that were humans. Desiree is a ghost that grants wishes, but they have horrible consequences. She died of a broken heart in old age after she fell in love with a sultan who promised to make all of her desires come true. But then she was casted away from the palace after the sultan's wife found out about this affair. Another example is Ember McLean. Now, if you don't remember her, I have no idea how. Ember's backstory is that she was an unpopular high school girl who had a dream of becoming a rock star. A boy asked her out on a date, and then he stood her up. She went home heartbroken and passed out on her couch. She was so exhausted from waiting around for her date that she didn't know that her house caught on fire. These two ghosts are proof that people can die and come back as ghosts. Now let's go back to our original theory. Is Danny Fenton half dead? He takes on the appearance of someone who could have died. He has white hair, green eyes, and sometimes he is shown to have a tail instead of feet. He can also become a ghost whenever he wants to, so he can use his powers and pass through walls. In his human form, he can't do any of that. We can look at how the human ghosts have unfinished business. That's why they're still here and aren't escaping to the ghost zone. Danny technically has a motive, since he grew up with his parents fighting ghosts. Not that well. He has a mission to use his powers for good. So does this mean that he hasn't officially moved on because he hasn't stopped all the ghosts that are coming through? And ghosts are shown to still act like humans. They still eat, sleep, and watch themselves. And they also still grow and age in a way. In The Ultimate Enemy, Danny encounters some of his enemies in the future, and they've all changed somehow. Johnny 13 is in a wheelchair, Kitty looks a little bit more mature, and Emma McLean is overweight and her vocal cords have been damaged. Danny can still age, even if he is half dead. Also, the ghosts can still reproduce. The lunch lady and the box ghost end up having a daughter in the future. All of these traits show that if Danny is half dead, he could still live on as a ghost and no one would really know. So, that's it. Humans die, and then they become ghosts. Danny is half ghost, thus making him half dead. Right? I'm just going to come out and say it. Danny is not dead. You're probably like, Alyssa, why would you prove that he is and then say that he isn't? Well, it's because Danny didn't die. He was just mutated. Mutation is the permanent change to a DNA structure. It is shown in the opening title sequence that ghostly ectoplasm has consumed Danny's DNA. And it says his molecules got all rearranged. It says nothing about his brain shutting down, his heart not pumping blood, or his lungs giving out, not allowing him to breathe. His DNA has nothing to do with allowing his body to live. And Danny can live without his ghost powers. In Phantom Planet, Danny steps back into the ghost portal and reverses the mutation process, causing his DNA to revert back to normal. We actually watch an animation of this happening. We learn in the episode The Ultimate Enemy that in the future where Danny's family and friends die, he goes to Vlad Masters and asks him to remove his ghost half because he doesn't want to be in pain anymore. Vlad successfully does it by using the ghost gauntlets. Although technically we didn't really see how Danny's normal life would be like, because immediately after his ghost half is ripped from his body, it combines itself with Vlad's ghost half, becoming something evil, then killing the human Danny. Yes, this happened. Thanks for scarring me, Nickelodeon. I guess this proves that the ghost half can live on its own without Danny. Dark Danny was pretty independent, you know, for destroying all of Earth and the ghost zone. And Maddie's Fenton definition actually contradicts Butch Hartman, the creator of the series, own definition of ghosts. He states that the ghosts are monsters / creatures from another dimension, and they're not dead people. They call the ghosts ghosts because it's just a lot easier to say. This proves that the definition of a ghost is open for interpretation. Overall, with the theory of Danny being half dead, I'm going to give it 1.5 DNA strands out of 5, because even though it's not true, I had a lot of fun researching about it. Thanks for watching this episode of Cartoon Conspiracy. If you have a theory for us, leave it in the comments below. Also, subscribe to the channel Frederator for more videos. I have to go and try to get this theme song out of my head.